Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello, my lovely lot. Hello, my renegades. I am back. I'm back. I have missed you all. Hopefully you've missed me too, because we are now ready to get into a new bright season of all reacts, breakdowns, reviews of Love is Blind season 8. And also, when it comes, Married at First Sight Australia season, I think it will be on season 12 for that one. But yes, I'm back. I'm back. Right, yeah, I don't know why the hell I just did that, but I did. So enjoy the silliness for a little bit. Anyway, before we get into this video, as we all know, Love is Blind is back, season 8. I'm going to be chatting about episode 1, and it's called I Have a Husband. So I'm going to ask you, as I always do, to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, so when you know I'm on and doing videos, please comment, like, share and do the good things that you do, because you know I continue to be on the road to 1k. So here we go. Let's foray back into the Love is Blind crowd again. The craziness, the madness. Yeah, who will find love? Or will we just find a bunch of people that are just full on toxic and shouldn't be anywhere near a TV screen? Yeah, that makes us need to speak about their asses. Anyway, all I would say, it's again with the edits at the beginning. Right, we always get the same blurb, what they're looking for love, they're looking for someone to understand them, yada yada yada. We hear it, we know it, we see it. But I am trying to train my mind right now, after all the Love is Blinds that I've watched previously, to be open-minded, okay? Because everybody thinks they're going to find their soulmate on this place. There's only a select few that managed to do that and are still together to date. Do you know what I mean? The success stories of Love is Blind. But as I always say, the reason being is because they were literally of that mindset. They literally found people on the same page as them in terms of wanting to get married, in terms of wanting to look for a life partner. Majority of the people sometimes that come on this show are just looking for instant fame. That's how I'm seeing it. And their asses get shown across the place because they think the way that they treat certain people in a real life, they think they can do the same to these people, and it doesn't work out for them at all. They need to change up the game. Change up the game, change up the scenario is what I say. We do detect within the edits some disaster stories, okay? But again, I have my fingers crossed and hope that this time, this Love is Blind will be a little bit more of a success story for some people, okay? Alright, so they basically were saying that this is the biggest season yet, because apparently it looks like there are more people involved than the usual amount that they put in. So let's hope with more people being involved, they'll get the results that they're anticipating. But what they're not understanding is they don't anticipate the personalities of some of these people, to be honest with you, when they put them on shows like this. I mean, if you think about it, we do have our first Love is Blind separation with Tyler and Ashley, but were we surprised? Were we really surprised that that was going to happen? I mean, Ashley could not see the wood through the trees when it come to Tyler. It was all my man, my husband. Yeah, until the truth came up and slapped her in the goddamn mouth. And now they're separated, possibly getting divorced. So I'm not gonna say I told you so, but so when Nick, Deshay and Vanessa go and do the introductions, you got the men's side, you got the women's lounge. So we kind of see Taylor. They introduce Taylor, and she's speaking about what drew her to Love is Blind. And she talks of being excited to fall in love with someone's heart and soul. And I just thought, yeah, the pessimist in me from watching these just thought, you may start off that way, love, but trust me when I say half the time it never ends up that way, because the person that you pick, I will say, is only putting a front on up to a point. At the end of the day, they're going to use tried and tested and true type of dating techniques in order to be able to connect with someone. And sometimes I think the connections can be I think can be a little bit deep, because you're excited, you're not seeing this person, but then also I think it's kind of on a superficial level, and then the issues start to come about when they actually meet the person and then have to be in each other's space 24/7, because this bit is the easy bit. For me, I would say this bit, the dating in the pods bit, is the easy bit in order to get picked by someone, because you literally just have to be your ass self. Some of them don't know how to be themselves, really, well and truly. For someone to be interested in them, they become someone that they're not. But the test is when they actually have to meet them and then be in each other's pockets 24/7 and have the outside world come into that. That's when they're tested. That's where you usually see the cracks. But some people do honestly give you little red flag warnings when you're in the dating process, but some of these people choose to ignore those little red flags and make them into little green flags for some reason. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how their lofty expectations will go at the end of the day. So then you see Daniel, and he's talking about, like, because for a dude he's quite short, so he talks about it being like the short king season. I will say that most of the short men that I've met in my life all had a Napoleon complex going on. Short men mean but that's speaking from my personal experience. Short men are mean. I'm sorry. There's only one person out of my friendship group that I could say who's short, yeah, and he's lovely. All the others, they're rotted mean, and I don't know if it's because they have to make their personality greater than their height to make them seem taller to everybody else. But I shall not keep going on about that before Ali will come for me. Do you know what I mean? So he's trying to say that he doesn't care about his height being 5'8". I was like, but you do though, because otherwise you wouldn't mention it. So basically, he's saying that if a woman doesn't like him due to the fact that he's height, it is a her problem at the end of the day. So I agree with him on that. It is a her problem, but he's saying it doesn't bother him because he's looking for someone who's going to like him for him and what he can deliver and what he can offer. But I'm like, of course it bothers you if the person throws you over due to the fact that you're short, yeah, because if it didn't bother you, you wouldn't mention it. You wouldn't have to mention it. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't have to moniker yourself the short king season. That's all I'm gonna say in that one. So we see a young lady called Vanessa, and she talks about how people see her as standoffish, but she has a big heart. Basically, she's like a little softie. But my question is, when people first meet Vanessa then, and if that's the impression that, they have, that she can be quite standoffish, then that's the vibe that's being shared. That's the vibe that's coming off of her. Do you know what I mean? So this, in essence, will be perfect for her because they'll get to know her without having to see her, yeah, and not having the vibe that she's quite a standoffish type of person or a hard type of person, when in actuality, as she's saying, she's not. So there's this woman in a green dress. At first I did not know her name, but I did come to know her name. I think it was Molly. I think it was Molly that said she has not been in a committed relationship, so she's kind of been in situationships hoping for those to move forward into a committed relationship, but it didn't. So basically she's saying that she hopes her husband will be her first boyfriend. I kind of always worry when people say they haven't been in a committed relationship before. How can you measure it against anything? How do you know what you like and you don't like? How do you know how you should be treated or you deserve to be treated if you've not been in that type of relationship before? Because it's a huge jump to being in situationships to then getting married. There's a disconnect for me in that one, in terms of people coming on this show who's never ever really been in a committed relationship before. So Daniel and Taylor have a date. Their date was quite funny, actually. I would say overall that these women are a little bit more direct. Yeah, they're not shy in coming forward, and majority of them are asking the right questions. Majority of them are having the right discussions. Do you know what I mean? And it seems that the men are being more open and honest in regards to the situation at hand, and they're kind of direct too, which is what I'm liking about this type of cast at the moment. So you see Daniel, he's talking about like his sister being born blind. And he talks about how she loves people without seeing them. And then in context for him, it's kind of like why he's on Love is Blind as well. Because he's trying to fall in love with someone without actually seeing them first. I would kind of say it's not kind of the same in terms of what his sister is going through. But I was like, okay, Daniel, you go off if that's how you want to see it and view it, okay. Because that doesn't necessarily speak to the fact that are you at this time in frame in your life that you literally are looking for a wife, you want to get married, because this is what this show is all about. You either get married or you don't at the end of it. So Taylor basically is saying that she is done and with dating, and she's ready to get married. I actually do like Taylor. She was quite funny. She really is quite funny. So then we meet a beautiful black woman called Brittany. No, she don't call herself Brittany, it's Brittany. Okay, so she ends up having a date with Devin, and it does look good from the outset with both of them. And now I'm thinking to myself, the way in which how they're so direct with each other, have these people managed to watch some of the Love is Blinds and basically find the cheat codes of what it is that they need to do in order to get a person interested to be able to move on to the next stage. So they had a good date. Devin talks about his age because he's 28, so it seems as though he may be the youngest within the group because the women are quite older than him, in their 30s and upwards, basically. He's saying that he's not going to let age slow him down at the end of the day. And all I thought was, I think it more depend on his personality and his attitude and his maturity, because majority of these women more than likely probably would not go for him or rule him out due to his age, thinking, oh, he may be too immature and he may not be ready to get married at this age. But as it is with the concept of Love is Blind, you're getting to know that person without actually seeing them and knowing what they are and who they're about. Only if they're honest, though. Only if they're being open and honest, though. Let's remember that point. Okay, so they were already talking about children and everything like that, and I was thinking, yes, I'm liking this. I'm liking the discussions that are happening right about now. So then you see Virginia, another lovely black woman, and her and Devin have a date. Okay, their date is definitely different to Devin's and Brittany's date. So it may be that Brittany and Virginia may have a bit of a competition balance going on in terms of Devin, because basically Devin knows how to present himself. He's very approachable. He can sell himself, basically. He age be damned. You wouldn't think that he was 28 with the way that he talks and how he presents himself to people. So you see Virginia, and she has a date with Joey. Joey, I must say, is kind of cute. He is kind of cute. But also I find with these that with the cuteness comes some shadiness. So we'll just have to see how all of this plays out for all these people, because it's early days. It's early days and anything can happen. So Joey says basically in his VC that everybody says to him that he gives off golden retriever vibes. And I was like, mate, that is not a compliment, because essentially they're saying that this boy is needy. He needs to be petted each and every time. Do you know what I mean? He gets excitable like a flipping dog, and he's someone companion. So yeah, that to me, that's not a compliment. It's not a good thing. So Joey then has a date with Monica, and this man says to Monica, because Monica was really quite nervous and she voiced that she was nervous, so he says to her, I will make you feel comfortable. So I was like, okay. So he says he's going to do some type of exercise to make her feel comfortable. She was like, okay then. Why did this man turn around and ask her what does she do to make herself feel comfortable? I'm like, dude, what the hell was that? I thought this man was going to sit there and do some either Lamar's breathing, get her in some yoga positions, get her to sit down and just like breathe in, breathe out. But no, my man asked her what made her feel comfortable. The foot. Anyway, but what they did have in common was swing dancing, and I do like watching people swing dancing, and I would love to do it myself if I could, but I know I would probably sprain something in my Ross body if I tried. So Monica talked about her dad being from Chile, and the fact that she's got a really big family and she's very, very close to them. He talks about his family and how close he is to his family as well. And she basically says, you know, that's a green flag for her. Joey talks about his sister, who was 16 years old, who passed, but he still talks about her in the present tense, basically. So she is still there, and it's still a physical presence for him in that sense, and that's how he speaks about her. So Monica talks about like her backstory in terms of she was dating someone. He decided to go on spring break and asked her to watch his cat, but then when he came back off spring break, their relationship was done. No explanations from him, no closure, no nothing. I was like, my girl, from when the dude said, I'm going on spring break, knowing what happens probably on spring break, can you watch my cat? And you were not included in those plans to go with him on spring break. I'd be like, yeah, nah, I ain't doing that. We're done. Like, seriously, we would be done. I don't know why she decided to watch that man's cat, but hey ho. So she basically said that she came onto Love is Blind to hopefully have a chance at starting the race. I ain't bagging this woman, yeah, but she talked about like each time she's been in relationships, and it hasn't gotten anywhere, right? So I'm thinking to myself, if it's not working over and over again, yeah, does this mean that there may be a problem in-house, or is it just me? I'm just asking for a friend. So Monica and Dave had a date. Now Dave, yeah, I'm going to say first impressions, I don't trust him. I don't. That's my first impression of Dave. I do not trust this dude, yeah, and I'll keep going on in terms of the when I watch this episode why I don't trust this dude, yeah. So Dave kept on asking every woman, it showed the clips, every rotted woman he had a date with, as an opener, what's wrong with them?
Don't be this guy, guys.
I was like, dudes, you do know all these women, just like the men, all share a space together and they will chat about their dates, even though I don't think they should, because you know what happens when people are dating the same person and decisions ain't been made if they both like the man. We all know what happens there. So Dave was kind of sounding like, if you remember Matt from some seasons many moons ago, who is so rigid in his view, and he was asking the same things of all the women until he decided to leave early. Dave is giving those vibes. Honestly giving those vibes. So Dave said that he decided to come on Love is Blind, as he said that when he was dating, he was an ass to women. At least he's honest about it. But what will he do about it is my question at the end of the day. So he basically came on here to confront himself on it. And starting point, but I kind of think that Dave will quickly fall back into bad habits. Let me just put it that way, because I really don't think he's learned shit about himself, to be honest with you, because Dave was giving me he's full of himself vibes, and that's what I'm doing. I was calling it then and there. Dave is full of himself. He's very arrogant. That's how I'm saying it. So he then has a date with Lauren, and they share their ages, yeah. So when she says she's 30 something, he turns around and he tells her, oh, so you're no longer attractive. I was like, brother, what?
Brother, what's that?
My whole face just went, did he really just turn around and say this to the woman, that she's no longer attractive because of the age that she is? Oh, me, I would have ended the date there. And each time Dave does little digs like that, he turns around and says that he's joking. This man ain't joking. He's just looking to see how far he can take his bullshit. That's what he's doing, because that shit ain't funny to me. That's not funny to me. I find that actually insulting. That ain't funny. I ain't laughing with you. It ain't no funny. Haha, kiki, haha. No, sorry, Bobby, not at all. So I don't think Dave is there for genuine reasons at all. I really don't think he's gonna see any type of reflection in himself, and he's going to continue with the same behaviours that he's doing. So he gives off, like, you know, not bothered vibes, and Lauren is just talking and talking and talking, and he's just sitting there like, I'm just like literally, my girl, you're just talking to thin air, talking to this man, like, seriously. So he says that he has been a shallow person in the past. Really? I couldn't tell that. Really, Dave? Really? Like, really? He says he does not want to be that way, and wants to be better than that. But is he really going to be better than that? Because I don't think so. He's got to the grand old age that he is, yeah. How do you then change the behaviour of a lifetime that you've kind of been stuck with? And it's also in terms of the job that he does, as he says, he sees a lot of women, he deals with a lot of women and men that have like cosmetic surgeries and stuff like that. So his perception of beauty, yeah, is very much skewed, basically, especially in terms of what he will more than likely look for in a woman. How is he going to separate that from this, especially if he marries either one of the women that he meets, either one of the women that he's interested in, yeah, and he finds little faults here and there? How is he dealing with it? Because not everybody is bloody perfect, do you know what I mean? Lauren was sucked all the way in with his bullshit, and this is what I mean. These people literally try and disguise the toxicness of them hidden behind jokes, because that's what Dave does. That's how I'm seeing it right now. So then we see Molly, and Molly meets Dave, because we have Molly and Lauren that actually do like Dave. So Molly talks about, like, she didn't just want a boyfriend anyway, that's why she's not been in any committed relationships. And I'm just like, but then you want your husband to be your first boyfriend, so how does that work? So Dave ends up calling her cocky because of the comment that she makes. And I thought, yeah, pot calling kettle black at the end of that one. So I always think when someone says something so off the wall and sarcastic and then say that they are playing, I'm like, no, you're not. You're not playing. Your first thought is your real thought at the end of the day, but you're just kind of covering it over because all you want to do is kind of check the reaction that you get from the other person when you say the shit that you say, and you know if they don't like it, then you know, oh, let me not do that shit to them anymore. But if they start with ya, then you will continue to kind of under the radar insult them. That's what he does with his little jokes, does Dave. Under the radar insult people and try to play it off as a joke when it's necessarily not a joke. Dave lets out that, you know, he's white because white Christian background when he talks about his childhood. He does open up to Molly about his mother passing and how that has brought about him in terms of his emotions. So it did kind of show him in a human type of sense. He wasn't so wooden or an insensitive type of soul. So Dave at this point literally lets out that he really does like Molly. So he really likes Molly at this point. So he liked Molly first. Okay, let's just point that one out. So we go back to the lounge and everybody's already chatting about who they talked to, who stood out for them. You got Virginia and Brittany talking about Devon. And I thought, we'll see how jokey this continues, yeah, until things get really serious, and then the jokes are going to be finished, because then you're going to be in competition with these people in order to get one of these men to ask you to marry them, yeah. So Taylor talks about how she's digging Daniel. Molly speaks about Dave. Dave already talked about the two women that he liked, which is Lauren and Molly. And we have Alex, who he spoke about his background, where he was the proverbial loner in school. He was bullied atrociously in school, like proper bullied, but now has come into his own, basically. So my feeling is how do you get over those feelings that bullying has caused in terms of inadequacy? From when he was not attractive, as he puts it, where women are now finding him attractive and gravitating towards him. How does he deal with those little aspects of insecurities? Because those little aspects of insecurity are what shape you and mold you into the person that you become today. You either let it impact you fully, and you get that work and you do the groundwork and you do the shadow work in order to be able to deal with those feelings, or you literally just ignore it and keep moving on through life until later on in life it just comes up and slaps you upside the head like a bad dream. That's how I'm seeing it. So you see Alex and Madison have a date. Madison is another one like Lauren. She likes to talk a lot, and literally I don't know how Alex got a word in edgewise, to be honest with you, because this gal did not stop chat. Like, seriously, he literally sat there in the beginning and didn't say a word because he couldn't get a word in. But he did listen to what Madison was saying, though. He heard every word that she said. And she talked about her background and how bad it was in terms of her mum being an addict, and then her dad, I think he passed, and then a stepdad, and then the situations from there. And at the moment she's trying to break a lot of generational curses, basically, so she doesn't want to go into the marriage with the same view that she had as she was growing up and having to literally watch her mum spiral or be that parent for her mum at such a young age, and then also be looking out for her brother and sisters. Alex does talk to her about his school experience, about how he was bullied. So not only did Alex go through horrendous bullying, he also had ADHD, and he didn't do very well in school as well, academically. Now, he was talking about how he's from a family of academics, and because he did not do so well, they were disappointed in him, and then they kicked their kid out of the house. I was like, with family like that, who needs freaking enemies at the end of the day? Because how could you do that to your child? Madison talked about the fact that she was bullied too. I must say, from what I've seen so far, because I don't want to pin it all on the edits that I have seen, these dates so far seem to be better than like some of the Love is Blinds that I've watched. They all seem to be digging each other. They all seem to be finding out more. So basically, Alex wasn't afraid to say to Madison that, you know, she is his number one, and Madison likes him too. So then you see Madison date Mason. So it seems as though Madison likes Mason too, and Mason likes her too. So Mason talked about the job that he does, and he does cinematography, and he absolutely loves it. She did talk about the fact that, you know, she had lost a brother in a car accident. Madison's a deep girl. She's deep, to be fair, and even though she talks a lot, I do like her. The same that I like Brittany, and I like Virginia, and I also like Tyler too. They have a good date. Madison is a good conversationist, don't get me wrong. She chats a lot, but she's a good conversationist. Madison is saying all the right words. Mason looks to be fully drawn to Madison. And basically he created a safe space for Madison, which she thanked him for, because she was able to open up to him that little bit more. And I kind of think she opened up to Mason a little bit more than she did with Alex. So it seems as though Alex may have competition for Madison, to be honest with you. So Mason then had a date with Meg. And then Mason quickly lost my whole fucking, what can I say? What can I say? He lost my respect. That's the word I'm looking for. He lost my respect when he went on this date with Meg, because this man was literally playing the same player book that he played with Madison. He was telling her the same things about, like, I couldn't wait to talk to you. I was really hoping to talk to you. I'm like, oh, please, you people pick the freaking dates of who you want to date. So don't tell me you couldn't wait to speak to her. You asked to date her. Do you know what I mean? So Mason was taken by Meg's voice. I found it slightly annoying. But like majority of the voices in there, that I find them annoying. Yeah. So Mason is really be saying all the right things when he is in a certain space, but it's dependent upon the person, because half the shit that he was saying to Meg, he kind of was doing the same spiel to Madison not 5 minutes ago. So yeah, that's why he lost my respect in there. I'll say Meg is not for me at all. She's another one that don't let nobody speak. Yeah, she just talks and talks and talks. She doesn't make all the sense, because all I have to say is the alien talk. the hyper being talk that they were talking about, yeah. And if you watched it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, Meg just literally zips from one topic to the next that you like a freaking light switch. You cannot keep the fuck up with what she's saying at all. All I wanted her to do was just shh, calm. That's what I wanted. Just calm. Take a breath. Do you know what I mean? Just breathe, and then start again. But bloody hell, I really wanted to. I'm gonna say one thing. While I was watching it, when it came to their part, I really wanted to turn the TV off. I wanted to turn the TV off because she just kept on going. She just kept on going. I ain't gonna lie. I wanted to go. Off you go. But fade to black. Do you know what I mean? Because I couldn't. Like, no. Mason then declares at the end of all of that how happy he was being with Meg. He said the same Ross thing to Madison. I was like, what is going on right now? Like, these men be saying the same things to two women. I'll be honest when I say Dave and Mason actually do not come off as genuine people. Like, seriously, they be playing games. I don't know if they want to put themselves into a triangle to have two women like being pitted against each other in order to vie for their affections. I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, but that's what it's looking like to me. So then we have Molly and Dave who have a date again. So he tells Molly that she sounds like his ex-girlfriend. Molly was like, oh, that's so sweet. No. That's not sweet at all. I would say, Molly, you in danger, girl, because no, that's not a sweet thing to be compared to an ex-girlfriend of his. She's an ex-girlfriend. They broke up for a reason, and you sound like his ex-girlfriend. Backside, no, that's not a compliment if I ever hear one. So then Dave then turns around and says that he can tell her voice apart from all the other girls. Again, Molly was like, oh no. Just no, that's not. Yeah. Let me just quickly squeech past that. Yeah, I'll just squeech past that because then their talk goes to sex talk and they talk about like the kissing and its intensity. So Molly says, because then the talk goes to men taking charge. Molly was saying that she would like Dave to take charge until she felt comfortable enough to be able to then take charge. Now, this leads them into talking about dominance. Okay. And this is always a pet peeve of mine, as some people truly don't know what it means to be in a dom and submissive type of relationship, if that's what it is that they're like, discussing, because they were kind of talking in code. Do you know what I mean? So I was kind of reading between the lines in terms of what it is that they were talking about, because doms, if they done right, are truly respectful of their sub and meet their needs. They are not abusive people. Don't get it twisted. Doms are not abusive people. It's just certain people who think they are doms that run up an abusive pattern of behavior, giving a bad name to people who are actually working within those relationships. So yeah, I told you already. There's just something about Dave that I don't like. I don't like, and Mason's coming on that list too, to be honest with you. So Lauren and Dave then have a date. Basically, Lauren turns around and says that, they talk about, no, it's not even Lauren, it's Dave who talks about, like, being with someone who reminds them of their father, because Lauren was speaking about daddy issues and stuff like that. And I just ask, is it a thing to be attracted to someone who reminds you of your dad? I'm just asking, because for me it's just plain weird. I mean, I suppose in a way it could be the man's supposed to treat their partner, or your partner's supposed to treat you, and it would probably remind you of your mum and dad, or your mum and dad's, or whoever's relationship that you've looked up to. But being attracted to someone who reminds you of your dad, it just speaks weirdness into my ears. That's all I can say on that point, right? So I really don't know about Lauren and Dave as well. When they talk, they sound boring. It's his talks with Lauren are different to his talks with Molly. They do sound boring as hell. So Dave says, like, he talks about his sister, and she asked him, like, what does she think about him coming on this program? And he turns around that his sister thinks none of the girls in this show would be good enough for him. And this is where he gets the arrogant mentality from. Yeah, because he thinks he's too good for everybody. This man, I swear, is so far up his own A. I'm being honest when I say I don't like Dave. There's something about Dave that I just don't like. So then we get to Daniel and Tyler. He talked about that he journaled about her last night, and Tyler journaled about him as well. So Daniel really appears to be taken with Tyler, and I think Daniel is one of those earnestly honest men where if he really likes you, that's where his attention's going to be. He's not going to chop and change his attention. So if he really likes Tyler, that's where he's going to set his lot in. He's not going to be looking at any other gal. That's how I'm seeing it anyway. So he's already putting himself out there with Tyler and not wasting any time. Poor Tyler was losing her voice because of all the people that she'd been chatting to. Yeah, it kind of got to her voice, and now she's losing it. It seems to me that Daniel has the right view on what he wants. Basically, he said he's one of these people who likes to look out for his wife, and he's in this to look for a wife. And he sees it in Tyler, but the question is, does she see it in him? So then we go to Brittany and Devon. They had a date. Playful, ain't much to write about. It swings to Virginia and Devon, and they had their date was extra playful, let's just put it that way. You see some of the lads in the lounge literally taking the piss out of Joey, the one who says that his friends say he has golden retriever vibes. And the funniest thing is they were actually sounding like this dude as well. So you see Joey and Monica have another date. They bonded over basically the Sound of Music. Joey was a high school football player, and he basically said that he was offered D1 scholarships or whatever it is for his football, but he turned them down in order to look after his sisters. And this is where it came out in regards to money and finances. And I was like, at long last, somebody is having a talk in the dates about somebody's financial standing and where they are. Let's just put it this way, Joey is set for life at the moment because he basically said that his mum was very, very poor with money. So by the age of 27, he said he'd already bought his first house, and he makes sure that he puts in a pension for his mum, and that she will never be without a roof over her head, because he has managed to save and be really, really good with money, that he can be quite, look after those around him. So I thought, that's good on him. Do you know what? Good on him. And good on Monica for asking those questions at the end of the day. So Dave has already come into the room talking about how he is conflicted over the two girls. And I thought, and it begins. It begins. Because at the end of the day, it's not just him. Devon is in the same boat because he's got two women he's playing with at the moment, and Mason's got two women he's playing with at the moment. So we'll see what happens from here on out. All I'm gonna say about Dave is when he's in his dates, he blows his own trumpet a lot. I mean, you can have confidence, that ain't an issue. It's when it starts to lead into arrogance, and I think this is where Dave is in arrogant land at the end of the day. He talks about tattoos and what they're meant to him, which led him to talking about his mum passing, and then basically his dad selling the house. So now Dave is talking about how he wants to spend so much time with Lauren, and then he started to get overwhelmed in that date with Lauren. I don't know if these people have an actual script of what it is they really want to say to these people. The man then said he wanted to cancel his next date. Now his next date was with Molly. Come on now. Yeah. And stay in the room with Lauren. And I thought, well, why don't you? Because I'm sure if you put the request in, you can. At the end of the day, you made the date, you can cancel the date, and if you wanted to stay in that room for the rest of the night with Lauren, you could do that. So why not do it, Dave? Because we all know Dave won't cancel that date with Molly. Come on now. Dave is just paying lip service. He's enjoying himself right now. playing two women. He's enjoying himself. So Dave then has a date with Molly, and Dave's asked her the same questions about her tattoos. So this is the man who said to Lauren, shall I cancel my next date? I told you he wouldn't. I told you he wouldn't. Because Dave is full of it. Dave is full of it. People, don't be like Dave. Honestly, don't be him. Don't be this guy. Don't be like Dave. Now he be telling Molly he likes her a lot, and it's just been about Molly from the beginning. And this is what I say. I don't like Dave. I don't like him in honest. He not being honest at all. No. He's loving this. So Molly is back in the women's lounge, and she's talking to Maddie and telling her that, you know, she's speaking to Dave and she isn't bothered. Who knows? Because she believes everybody else knows who's speaking to Dave because he's dating other people. And basically she thinks she knows who it is that Dave is dating. So Maddie asks her, she says Sarah, and I'm like, bitch, you're wrong. So wrong. So wrong, you are not right. At the end of the day. So Lauren, the actual person who Dave is dating, comes and sits with Maddie and with Molly. And Lauren then starts going on and whining about the fact that the guy that she's dating is dating other people, and he brought it up with her today, and she didn't really like it, and yada yada yada. At this point, realizing that Lauren and Molly are dating the same guy. Okay. So Maddie asked Lauren, okay, who are you dating then? Lauren says, I don't really want to put that out there. Okay, fine, bet. Best thing to do, I've always said, stop chatting your business up in these rooms, because lo and behold, you're all going to be dating the same man. Yeah, and if you're really into this man and somebody else is dating that man, you ain't going to like it. Yeah, when you start talking about it, or they overhear you talking about who you dating. Do you know what I mean? So I just thought at that point the cookie's gonna crumble, because Molly has a big mouth. She has a big mouth. So Molly done shot herself in a ras foot, because she arrogantly believes that somebody else who is not Lauren, because she don't know it's Lauren, is dating Dave. So she gets confident. So she fell into the trap of ending up telling Lauren who she was actually seeing. Told you the cookie will crumble, because Molly thought she was clever. She really thought she was clever. So you see Molly tell Lauren as she's seen Dave. Lauren's face was a picture. You see Molly, and neither did Maddie, clock Lauren's face, full expression, as she sat back down after Molly had told her that she's dating freaking Dave, who Lauren likes. So Molly then sits back and turns around and says, I have a husband. I was fucking priceless. The reason why it was so priceless is because Lauren couldn't even score the look, and she was like, oh my god. And then she sat there and was like she drank fucking lemons, let's just put it that way, or someone literally pissed on her parade with that one. I was like, oh, here it comes. The whole competition is going to come now, and then Molly's gonna feel stupid when she finds out that actually Dave is dating Lauren. Let's just put it that way. There's gonna be hella competition gonna happen here. It's hella competition. Anyway, that's where that episode ended, and I'll be back in quick succession with the next episode. As I always say, my renegades and all those that come in, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so you know I'm doing videos. Please comment, like, share, and do the good things that you do, because I continue to be on the road to 1k. Peace out.